Hello. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm just trying to. All right. Hi, everyone. How's it going? I don't know who's out here, but I'm not going to be doing like Charlie Kirk stuff tonight. And I definitely don't look like put together and ready, but that's okay because sometimes I'm just not going to be, but we're still going to get on here when we want to get on here. And I had a migraine earlier today and I was like, I don't know if I can do serious stuff. Like I feel like I just want to watch something funny. We'll still like kind of keep it in the world of like semi-politics because we're going to watch a little Tim Dillon. I've been really I've been really enjoying his stuff and he just on his most recent I guess podcast episode, um he he had like a little there's just like one little spot that I wanna, watch because it made me chuckle because he's referring to, like, Maine, and I'm in New Hampshire, so there's a bit of a connection there, but anyway, um, yeah, bear with me for just a second too because the last time that I went live and had, like, people here and we were all commenting and all this stuff was happening, it wasn't working previously on YouTube for me, so I went through StreamYard and then I couldn't see all the same stuff, so I'm back in YouTube, but chat's weird, so I'm just gonna see if I can get it to if you're in there, send a message in there so I can see even just like a hi or tell me where you're from. I'm just trying to make sure I can see the chat because that's like the whole point. And yeah, I don't look great, okay? It's not gonna always be great. I had a migraine today and I just didn't wanna do all the stuff, so it is what it is. All right. Oh, cool. Okay, it's working. Okay. All right. So, I wanna pull up this clip. He's talking about Venezuela and, us kidnapping Maduro. Let's see. It is this one. It's right around I don't know who else watches Tim Dillon. If you haven't, you should. I, uh I haven't watched him for very long. I knew who he was before I really started watching recently, but if you're like if you follow politics, but sometimes you just, like, can't do the heavy, serious stuff all the time, it's a nice little break. Um, okay. This one this one section here cracks me up so much. So, for those of you who don't know hold on. For those of you who don't know, I just started this YouTube channel, so I don't have, like, a ton of followers, I'm getting there, I'm working on it, but I've done, like, podcasts and whatnot. Actually, this is actually pretty funny. So, obviously, you can see my background, and I previously had done it was like a paranormal slash true crime, but we tried to keep it kind of silly and humorous podcast, and I was going to be converting it into, like, a video podcast, for YouTube purposes, and, things fell through with the girl I was doing it with and yada yada. So, anyway, I had this all set up for that purpose, and I had the funniest comment on a video that I had posted the other day. Um let me see let me see if I can find it really quick. Um, this this lady basically was asking about all the skulls and, all the creepy things, I guess, but she also commented on the pig. She said, "What's with the swine?" Like, as if it was, like, a sacrificial thing. My grandmother didn't give my grandmother passed away 5 years ago, but when we were growing up, my grandmother always collected like statues like that, like pigs and cows and roosters, and so when she passed away, there was, like, this collection of things that all of us needed to try to snag before someone else did, and that's the one I got, and I could not have gotten a cuter, more adorable, more happy-looking pig, which is why it's so funny that she thought it was demonic, but, um, so she was referencing the skulls, and, she said while she was watching my video, she could smell sulfur in her living room. And, then she went on to say, "Oh, are they skulls of human babies? Because I know you can get those in Mexico." I'm like, "They're from, like, Home Goods, like, I don't know what they're up to," like, I don't know if Home Goods is snatching human baby skulls, but I think that there's plastic from molds. Anyway, so yeah, if anybody's wondering why I have such a creepy demonic background, it's just because actually the painting here, my little sister did for my husband. Like, it's actually not bad stuff, it's just the color scheme, and a couple of skulls in there. Anyway, so I just thought that was funny, but let's go ahead and pull up this, clip from Tim and Dillon because it's fantastic.
Cream? Where?
Oh, so
I got it.
he had been talking about the Minnesota stuff, so there is some serious stuff, but he had been talking about how he never gets drinks like this with the whipped cream, but he decided to this time, because I forget what he said it is, but he said it's way better than what he usually gets, but he's like, "I know I'm gonna get whipped cream on my face, and everyone's gonna make it a big deal like I was not taking anything seriously." So he's saying he just got some on his face, which is funny. Alright.
I told you it was going to happen. I literally said it was going to in the beginning of the show. This is so much better than the Frappuccino. Fuck the Frappuccino. How about that? Anyway, the Civil War is we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to avoid that. We're finally doing good stuff. We got Maduro. We captured him, and we're stealing their oil.
That picture's
Listen,
so hilarious.
I mean, you might not like it. It might not help you, but it should. If gas doesn't come down, gas has got to come down. Gas has got to come down. Because now we're doing the thing, and everybody's said this already. Obviously this is not my train, but it's pretty widely accepted now that we went in there to steal the oil. No one's even pretending that we're doing anything else. This is our thing. So the price of
I seriously want a pair of these sunglasses. They're fantastic. He has so many different kinds.
oil has to come down. We're going to kidnap a guy, which was clearly some deal. Someone sold him out, obviously. But if that shit's going to happen, we're going to do stuff like that. The thing, the commodity that it is linked to has to come down. It has to come down. It has to come down. The American people, because it's already happened, by the way. You can debate, and you can debate whether you like or don't like that we do these things, but it doesn't matter anymore. No one cares anymore. This is really just the executive is the only branch government that's that's the only one that's kind of no one cares.
This is, I think, when he's getting to the point I was trying to pull up because it makes me laugh so much.
Congress or whatever, Supreme Court. I mean, stop. You're just going to wake up and hear about different people we've kidnapped. You'll just wake up and hear about it. You'll just wake up and they'll be like, they got the president of Panama. You go, what? They go, yeah, they got him. He was skiing. They got him when he was skiing. Yeah, he got to the bottom of the hill. They just got him. Oh. And then you got to fight over there. Well, what do we get? What do we get? I mean, we get blow. We get coffee. What do we get? What is the product that is less expensive because we have kidnapped the leader of that country? Truly. I mean, that's how we will survive for the next few years until it's a World War III, which seems to be months, if not years away. Like, it's coming.
Someone else was just saying something similar to this, but on a serious note, and I'm trying to remember who it was, but I can't. Like, as in, like, this is just the way it's gonna be now. I can't think of who it is. I don't know.
But before that, we will kidnap a bunch of people and try to bring down the things. You know? And you might not even know. It's going to get to the point where you'll be in the grocery store and go, why are these blueberries so cheap? And they go, we just killed the governor.
So I'm from New Hampshire, and growing up in the summertime, all the kids would do blueberry picking. Like, that would be like their little mini job, like all the like really younger kids. So it's really funny. But also, ironically, I actually work in a grocery store, like my part-time job. I decorate cakes. So it's also funny because I relate. He had talked earlier about gas prices, and he was talking about how, after we've kidnapped Maduro, like, gas prices have to come down. So, he had mentioned if they came down to $3, and it's just funny because he's in California, obviously. I'm in New Hampshire, and for me, like, they're about $3, sometimes a little bit less than, but about $3. So if where's gas at where you are? Because I'd like to know, like, how much everybody's paying. Where are you and how much is it? Because to me, I was like, $3, like, it is $3. I'd like to know if it's, like, vastly different everywhere, or if it's just, like, California is way more expensive in general. But anyway, this is so funny.
We killed that guy. You're going to go, interesting. They go, yeah, they just sent special forces in. They broke his neck in front of his family. You go, that's why these things are 90 cents. They go, yeah, blueberries are basically free for the next 3 months. There's chaos in the blueberry market. They broke the neck of the governor of Maine in front of his kids just to make a point. So that's what I mean. We're just going to use violence, and the violence will get more and more sadistic. But you also are not going to care because the prices of things are going to come down. Like, if gas goes down to like $3, you're not going to give a shit about this.
Oh,
you're going to give a fuck
$2.50 to
about Maduro with $3 fucking gas? Fuck you. California is so fucking high.
Yeah, now I can search really quick how much gas is in California. Let's see. Oops. I have, like, such a terrible I can't, like, reach my keyboard when my microphone is here. How much is gas in California today? Oh, okay. I was thinking it was, like, way more than that. So this is saying current average for I mean, I guess California's huge though, so but it says current average is, like, $4.25 for regular. Like, I ain't getting that premium shit. Jeez. But so that's not as high as I thought. I mean, it's high. Obviously, it's higher than here, but I was thinking, like, I was gonna be here, like, $6 or something. I don't know. Am I just that out of touch with life? I thought that they were way higher than that. I'm sure they were at some point. Oh, this says, where in California is gas $7 a gallon? So it looks like more so in, like, 2024. In Chevron in Menlo Park? Bay Area, okay. Yeah, I think the highest I've ever seen up here, like, in New Hampshire was and it was a long time ago, like, this was, if I were to guess, like, 2005. I feel like it hit, like, $5 once or something, and I was like, "Holy shit." But yeah, it's like I think I paid, like, $2.89 today, but I can usually get anywhere between, like, $2.70 and $3 pretty consistently, which is no better than it was a year ago. It's, like, at the same as much as they wanna tell us otherwise. He goes on a little more.
If you get gas to be cheaper, it's going to be, no one's going to care. You're going to not
Oh, sorry. I thought I hit a different button.
care about, because we're going to do crazy shit now. We've established the precedent that we're coming. we're going to come, we're going to kidnap you in the middle of the night, and we're going to fly you to Brooklyn, and then we're going to steal whatever resource you have. And it's
Just
going
how
to
it works
start
now.
in places like Venezuela, and then eventually we're just going to start whacking people in our own country.
How
That's
far
what
off do we
always
think we
happens. Like in
actually
our
are?
own country, we're just going to start. It'd be like, this is crazy. This is insane. Maple syrup is $1.
Our other neighbors.
They just burned the governor of Vermont in his house with his family. They burned his whole family.
It shouldn't be funny.
I go, that's fucking nuts. I go, we're running the maple syrup industry in Vermont. Because as life gets worse and the jobs go, you're going to have to get stuff. So you don't revolt. Trump knows. They all know this. They all know. They're like, they're going to revolt if we don't like get the gas cheaper and make the food cheaper.
Look, I know, like, it sounds psychotic, but, like, if we don't laugh, like, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like over the last week, I've been focusing so much on, like, the serious stuff and just constantly digging into stuff, like, to try to find new information, and it's always about, like, dark shit, and I was like, "I don't know if I can do it tonight," and then I was like, I'm gonna try to switch it up, just do something funny, and if people like it, they like it, great. Oh. Oh, so you're in South Carolina. My little sister's in South Carolina. Where about in South Carolina are you? If you're still in here. I'm not sure who this person is right now. Um, and she's coming up to visit soon, and I'm so excited. I wanted to pull up just some other just, like, more funny I need to laugh. So, I had been watching another Tim clip, so I'm going to pull that one up. Watch Your Mom's House or, Tom Segura. These people are my humor usually. So, usually when I, like, am getting to know someone, like, if I've met someone, I'm always, like, a little more reserved on, like, the things that I tell them, like, I find funny and stuff, and the problem is when I started wanting to do YouTube stuff, I was like, "I know I can't do anything scripted," because for me, like, I don't wanna have to try to keep up with it. I just wanna always be, like, normal, like myself. So, you guys are gonna get to know me maybe even faster than people I, like, know on a regular basis because anyway, I love, Tom Segura and Christina Pazsitzky, and I've been following them and listening to them for I don't when did, Your Mom's House podcast start? Because I've been listening basically from the beginning. Let's see. Yeah, when did Your Mom's House? Because 'cause I'm thinking 2012, 2010. 2010, I was right. That was my first guess was 2010, and I was like, "There's no way." Yeah, it was probably about 2010 because I lived in Florida at the time, and I lived in it had to be 2010 actually, because I started listening to them in Florida, and I moved home I moved home in 2013, but it was definitely I was down there from 2008 to 2013, so I've listened to them for a long time, and I not, like, all the time, I go through my phases, but they're just some of my favorite comedians. So, I found a clip that I was watching earlier where Tim Dillon was on there, and I was like, "This is a fun one." So, I'm gonna find it again. Let's see. I do have quite a bit of things that I'm going to record, that I'm gonna record tomorrow. I don't work my regular job tomorrow, so I've got quite a list of things. I can give, like, a little preview if you guys are interested. So, um, there's an individual who works at the White House that I discovered was associated with the Fall Kirk Center, that one Candace was talking about just the other day, in regards to, like, Erica and Charlie Kirk and, like, all the weird stuff going on. So there is someone that I discovered in an Instagram photo, not under Erica Kirk because there's just it's so easy to go on, like, this, like, I don't know, like, just, like, this down this rabbit hole of, like, clicking on people who've tagged people, and that's basically how I got there. So I wanted to go over that. I also, the bigger one is there's a content creator that's also newer. She's newer, like, I think she's been probably consistently posting for, like, maybe almost a month more than me, and, she had posted this, which is very interesting, and I wanted to try to find her name so I could share it, but I gotta get there. Um, but yeah, so I'm going to have that a video about the person that I found that also is associated with the Falkirk Center, who is associated with the White House, and Leslie, that was where my mom went to college, Liberty University, um, associated with all those things. And then, yeah, the Reddit post that this individual that I was just referring to, this girl, I'm going in here, American sorry, I don't remember. American Discourse News. Um, she's been posting pretty regularly, but she had found this. It's like a Reddit post with information about some stuff, possibly about a caregiver that had been associated with the Kirks. And then I've got another video I want to do on. I've talked about him before, but if you guys don't follow Ian Went, I follow him closely. I really like a lot of the stuff he posts. Mostly I see a lot of it on Facebook, but I know that he is on Instagram and YouTube, but he's got a smaller following there. And he's got a very interesting post about Argentina. Um, there's certain stuff that I'm still torn about, you know, covering for the purpose of, like, I'm obviously still building this channel up, and it's very obvious that certain topics will get your content either. I'm not monetized, so I can't be demonetized, but it won't push it out to as many people, so I'm hesitant to cover certain things, at least, until I'm a little more established, just so that I can have the stuff presented to people, because if it's not, then I'm never going to grow the channel, and working part-time, having kids, and trying to do content is a lot to try to do all at once, but right now, I have the time because, like, my little dude is still too little to get home and off the bus on his own, and so I've got, like, a few years where I have to have this part-time stuff happening, so I figure I've got time, now's the time to be doing it, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I'm gonna cover that, but I am a little hesitant in the sense that I don't know if the certain information connected to it is going to prevent people from seeing some of my stuff. Um, I do think that once I have a little bit of a bigger platform, like even just like 1,000 subscribers, at that point, I'll probably look at like doing maybe a Patreon for the certain topics that like YouTube isn't a fan of. Yeah. And then I was thinking I might just start making like a list and just like have like updates on the inconsistencies that we've gotten from TPUSA. So I'll probably do some of that as well tomorrow. Um, oh, one thing I could talk about right now that I had been looking up because just out of curiosity, let's see if I can find it really quickly. I was using Grok. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking about obviously like obviously when we're talking about Erica Kirk, I know I wasn't gonna talk about any of this, but I have to just let what happens happen, okay? Um, when we're talking about it, it's a hard subject to talk about if you're a normal person. Like, I like to consider myself a normal person. I consider myself, you know, right of center. I'm a pretty chill, laid back, like, person. I'm non-judgmental basically completely. And, it's really hard to talk about stuff like Erica Kirk for obvious reasons, like, you know, it's not a great look, obviously, to have opinions about a widow. The issue is that when you consider almost any spousal crime, it like, you know, they may not have been at the scene when it was discovered, but it's always someone you look at is the spouse. And I know people have said this, but it doesn't change the fact that it still makes it uncomfortable to talk about. But what I decided to do was I was curious to look into, and of course, this is like non-exhaustive, this list, because there's no way they could give me a full list. They kind of like went by just like periods of time. They're not even in order though. It's very unprofessional, Grok. But I had asked Grok to provide me with a list of murders that have taken place over the course of history, where the spouse was found to be basically the person behind the murder, but that they weren't present or had like an alibi at the time. Like, I was just curious to see how often this happens. So I'm not going to go through like everything. I'll read, a good chunk of them. Some of the names I'll probably absolutely butcher, but like we're talking like 1375 murder of William de Cantalupe, Lupe. I'm not sure how to say that, but so he was stabbed to death by two household servants who had essentially been um, paid for by his wife. She had facilitated it um, to gain for revenge and personal gain. What I found very interesting, I will say, is of the list that they gave me, 10, I believe, were husbands killed by their wives, um, who essentially coordinated other people to do the work for them, right? And 5 of them were men who did it the same, hired someone or whatever. And I just thought that was a little interesting as well, given we are in the situation of speaking about an individual whose husband died. Obviously, I'm not making any claims here. I'm not saying anybody's guilty of anything. I'm just saying, and it does make sense if you think about it, right? Because for the most part, women are probably concerned that there's no way they'd win in a fight with their husband. You know what I mean? Um, but I also will say that, and I don't have the actual numbers. Yeah, I think just in general, I think it's how our brains work too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we'd want to do it. I also think we're not the impulsive ones. You know what I mean? We're the ones who are like, well, obviously I can't do it this way. I don't know if it's just me, but they just think differently. Okay. But I would say out of the list that it was about 75% of the crimes of the women having the husbands murdered were over insurance money. So, I've said it numerous times now. Um, I understand it's awkward to consider looking at the widow, but the reality is, in usually any murder case, the spouse is like the first person they're looking at. And whenever we talk about high profile, high power situations like this, they're almost always over money or power. So we have all of those things here. We have a massive, massive life insurance policy. And there's even things around like the transfer of that's weird. There's just so many things that are wrong. And I feel like when you look at the case that they're presenting from the FBI and like the data points, and then all of the other stuff that we've discovered between like the shady stuff going on with TPUSA, the little white lies throughout the entire time, like all of these things scream way more information, way more suspicion to me than any of the other stuff. But yeah, I found it very interesting. Also on this list was the good old Pam Smart, who was a teacher at my high school. Not while I was there, but not long before I was there. Um, yeah, what year was it? 1990. Okay, why did I think it was later than that? I thought it was later than in the 90s. Was it really 1990? Why did I think it wasn't? Let's see. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. There were a few high profile crimes in my area in the 90s, so I could be confusing dates. When Yeah, May 1st, 1990. Interesting. Yeah, Pam Smart was a teacher at my high school, but not when I was there. I think there was a case of, parricide in, like, the, city next to mine, so that might be what I'm thinking of because I had done an episode on my podcast on it. I actually didn't do an episode on Pam Smart. But yeah, I also wasn't that the first, like, nationally televised trial too? I'm pretty sure it was. Where did that go? I lost it again. Oh, they didn't say it in here, but I'm pretty sure that it was. Yeah, that was crazy, huh? Crazy. Um, all right. Anyway, so yeah, I've got quite a bit that I wanna do some videos on, and I don't work tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna do quite a bit so that I can, like, schedule them to drop throughout the week, I guess. I don't know, is there anything anybody else wants to cover that might be interesting? I am interested a little more in, like, diving into, like, the South Korea stuff, but that's gonna take time. I think even, like, the list of inconsistencies, because I'm a real visual person, so I almost kind of wanna, like, put them in, like, a I don't know, on something on the computer, like a spreadsheet for, like, a visual purpose. I feel like that helps too. Like, I would imagine that's probably, like, some kind of technique if you work in the field of whatever, detective work, like, putting it into different formats, whether, like, you know, whether it's a chart or a graph or a spreadsheet, you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes just, like, switching it up creates a different perspective that allows you to see things, a little differently. Oh, do you wanna hear about a case that, it was local well, it was local to me, very, very, very local to me, but, did you guys hear of, it is a technique? Yeah, meaning it makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, what was I thinking of too? I was thinking of something else, um oh, like, when you're ever playing, like, games on like, those word games on, like, your phone, like, an app, and in order to, like, try to continue to figure out a new word, you, like, re-scramble them? I feel like it's the same idea, like, you've gotta, like, just switch it around a little. Um, but yeah, there was a case it must have been the trial was very close to me, so I went. It was, 2023 it must have been. Did you guys hear about the OnlyFans? It's not like a murder or anything, but did you hear about the OnlyFans kid? So I had heard that there was, that, like, Netflix had approached the girl about, like, the possibility of making it into, like, some sort of, like, short movie or something. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but, basically, this kid, his name was Mauricio, I believe it was his name. And, he was in Pennsylvania, he was from Pennsylvania, but this girl that had an OnlyFans that he was, you know, I don't even know how it works, like a member to or something like that, she lived here, and I don't know if everybody knows how it works, and I'm only going by what people have said, but it's like a subscription thing, right? So, like, you could find someone and you could, um pay to, like, subscribe to them, and then you can, like, private message them, and they'll, like, ask for, like, certain things because they were talking about this in the trial. So that person could say, "Hey, can you send me a picture of your feet? How much would it cost?" You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so they had begun this sort of, like, private message, interactions and whatnot for a while. It was, like, a while, I think that like, a year almost or something. But it got to a point where she had, told him she had recently moved and she needed some stuff for her apartment, so it was like, uh, a TV or something, and he, like, paid to have it sent to her, but then he knew her address, obviously. I mean, like, I don't know. Doing that stuff is so scary to me because you're putting yourself in such a position, but anyway, uh, it had gotten to a point where she did let him come visit her, and, it was, like, once or twice or something like that, and this kid I part of me did feel bad for him, right? Because he was very much like he just gave the vibes of like never had a girlfriend, was like 18, probably never even kissed a girl. You know what I mean? Like that's just the vibe. I could be totally wrong. There's someone for everybody, but it was that kind of like a nerdy guy who probably just never went out for it. You know what I mean? Anyway, so he's obviously like falling in love with this girl. And anyway, what happened is, they started getting to a point where she was kind of like, all right, enough or whatever. He ended up coming here and she didn't know. And he went through like, I think it was like they had like some sort of like farm, like barn type thing attached to the house they were living in. And he had gone through a window in there and he was living in her attic for like 5 days or something. Like he had like jugs that he had peed in and he had like McDonald's bags in the attic, like, and he would come out at night and like walk around the house. And he had even taken pictures under her blanket while she was sleeping. It was crazy. Um, but yeah, so that trial happened in 2020. I actually don't know what he was sentenced. Let me see if I can find it. Because they never do it at the same time. So it was like months later. Let me see. Has anybody heard of it? I'm trying to see if I can find out what he was sentenced. Oh, 1 year in prison. I feel like, yeah, that's probably appropriate. I don't know. I mean, he didn't physically hurt anybody. Obviously, he did plenty. But yeah, it was interesting being there for the trial, but yeah, so I have quite a few things I want to talk about, but I still wanted to do some funny stuff. Does everybody want to see more Tim Dillon or oh, I wanted to play the Tom Segura one, so I'm going to anyway because I freaking love him. All right, let's do it. I also love Theo Von. My God, do I love Theo Von.
Like, drop us at our door. She'll dine and dash.
She'll dine
I
and
had
dash.
kids, I'd want to spend a lot of time with them like Bert.
And then I could just see his him get
Crazy,
lost
though.
in it. He was like,
Yeah.
so such a
She was on Indiana's Most Wanted, so like state troopers came to the house once.
This like whole group
Have
of
you like a murder?
always like little
'Cause
clusters of like comedians that all they're all like friends with one another. He should absolutely have to pay to go to a security system and therapy. No, but I always love that like the clusters of comedians that are all like kind of in the same genre always like flock together. They're like, those are my crew. Oh.
love to talk to someone who's killed someone.
I've talked to I know somebody that's killed someone, but not like accidentally.
Oh, but that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Like in a car?
No,
How did they do it accidentally?
it's a gun.
Really?
Yeah, but it was
They killed someone accidentally?
Yeah.
How does it happen?
Well, that's the thing is that there's only this person's version of because the only people that know are him and the guy that's dead.
And what happened? They were playing with the gun?
They were and the gun went off,
Oh.
and he got out of it. He didn't have to.
Well, that's sad to hear.
It was really
He
sad.
lost his friend.
Yeah. Yeah, I know this guy. I'll tell you afterwards more and you'll be like, "Oh my God." But
yeah, it's crazy.
And I actually had many conversations with him. But I'd never met somebody or at least knowingly had a conversation about somebody, like you're talking about where you go like, what's it like?
Yeah, I'm wondering what it's like to be someone who's taken a life.
It's a great release.
I think some of my friends in the military have killed people.
Oh, that I've talked.
Hey, people.
Yeah.
I obviously, yes, they're people. But I totally get what he's saying, right? Because I would imagine that like, and that's why they, are vets and whatever, they have such a hard time after, but I feel like you just have to like I mean, you have to like disassociate. There's no way you can do it without disassociating. I mean, obviously, I have all these skulls, so I probably know a thing or two.
I'm like talking about like an American who like has a social security number and you like kill them.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
When I talk to my
anyone can kill someone in a foreign country. Literally anyone. Anyone.
When I talk to my dad about Vietnam for years and years and years,
Oh, his dad is so
he did what
funny.
you should do, which is like not tell that to a kid.
Yeah.
You know, because I'd be like, all I did was like bring up, you know, war from movies and
Right.
shit. And I was like, what's that like? And he was like, it wasn't like that. Like,
Right.
just kind of would dismiss it.
Yeah.
Older, I get older, 20s, still doesn't say much. Finally, I get into like my late 30s. And then I bring up, war.
Right.
He starts telling more in-depth stories. And then I kind of, one day I'm just like, I softball it up. I'm like, but what about like actually like taking someone's life? He's like, it's fucking the best. And I was like, what? He's like,
for those who don't follow Tom Segura, his father, in their podcast that used to just be like an audio podcast before they ever had the YouTube podcast version of it. He would always have his dad on regularly, and they called him Top Dog. That's what they referred to him as. They actually had, at one point, I had a t-shirt. It said, it looks like the Top Gun logo, but it says Top Dog. And his father always talked about how he was going to write a it was like going to be like a bathroom book where it was like the best like public places to go to the bathroom, like certain airports or restaurants or whatever. He was so funny. But yeah, he passed away. I don't know how long ago now, but it wasn't too bad. That he's talking about him, and he's so funny.
he's like, it was such a rush.
Well, you feel like a god.
Yeah. And then he goes, we would, sometimes we'd sit around with a platoon and I would ask the guys, would you rather get when you kill in battle, they call it getting some.
Right.
So he's like, I would tell the guys, would you rather get some or get some pussy? And they'd be like, we better get some, Lieutenant. And he's like, that's right. And then we would cheer about, fucking smoking the enemy, And then I could just see him get lost in it. Like, yeah.
That's awesome for him. That's so awesome for him that he had those moments and he had the time.
That's another
Who's
thing.
the coolest? Like Anthony Bourdain was pretty cool. I thought.
Yeah, but he wasn't a comic, right?
No. I mean, just like cool in general. Like, who's the cool?
To be honest
There
with you,
was,
and you're probably going to disagree. Casey.
Where Christina was talking about how it was like, remember that time we went to visit your dad, and I think they were like at a hotel or something, and she said he was sitting on the bed, and he had his boxers on, but they were like really loose, and you could see his balls. And Tom's like, Dad, your balls are hanging out. He's like, it's nothing she hasn't seen before. It's so funny. I just think they're hilarious. I keep not realizing which page I'm on.
Anthony. I like her free spirit.
She's cool.
I like that she has a free spirit. I like look at get her out now. Let's see what she looks like.
Speaking of,
I like her.
Yeah. She also was recently seen in New Hampshire. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on, people? New Hampshire, we're sacred up here. Y'all, can you stay down there, okay? Casey Anthony, we don't need you here. We don't want you in there. I don't know if she moved here or what. But.
Yeah. I like strength.
Sure.
I like female strength.
Do you
Here's
have a
my favorite
2023 photo of her? Like, do we see? I wonder what she looks like.
What is that expression? I mean,
that's like, oopsie.
She's
yeah,
like playing
I think
coy.
Like, oh no, that was really weird. This was right around the time though that she was seen in New Hampshire.
Well, because she's in this
on
is
a date or something.
Well, she's right now. This in that photo, right there. She just remembered she killed her daughter.
That's always a rough moment.
That right there, where is Casey Anthony now?
It's like
that photo. She goes, "Oh shit!"
When you're a kid and they take photos in school and they're like thinking. Then right now they're like, "Hey, you killed your daughter," and then snap.
Look at that Disney photo from TMZ. Look at her. She's at Disney World. This is what I think is so cool about her. Go up. It's the middle one on top.
So cool about her.
So somebody go at her at Disney World. She's put on a few pounds. She's looking at kids' toys in Disney World. This is what I like about her. She's not letting you shame her because she's out there going, I'm living my best life.
Yep.
She's still a mother.
Going back to, she's still a mother?
She's still a mother.
Yep.
Like, does she have kids again? No.
No, but
she likes
I
Disney.
consider her a mother.
At heart, yeah.
She's a famous mother.
Can you imagine?
I bet she's fun to date, though.
Here's the thing with her. She's just fun.
Yeah, she's
just fun.
Anyone who do something like that is also game for other shit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
dude.
Like
I mean, she'll dine and dash.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine? Be like,
exactly.
Hey, the waitress hasn't gotten our check. Why don't we get out of here? She's like, that seems inconsiderate. You're like, Casey. She's like, all right, I get it.
Exactly. And there's no sexual favor you can ask that she's gonna be like, I'm not that kind of girl. You're like,
she's not saying no to put her daughter in a bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Watch this, so if anybody's offended, I do apologize in advance, but I didn't watch this or anything all the way through. I actually don't know how long it is. 25 minutes. Woof. No, yeah, Casey Anthony was in New Hampshire, and then the guy, the colonel who was associated with the Romanian brothel, that guy, the Charlie Kirk case, he's from New Hampshire. Like, what? Why is he's here too? I think he's actually from here and he's still up here now. Because I actually looked into that and I couldn't find confirmation. When I looked it up, it was like there were allegations, but never any actual like convictions or like even charges, I think, technically. So I don't know. I'd have to look into whether or not that's, I don't know. I don't know how much I believe.
There's absolutely no way that's happening.
Exactly.
And I do appreciate her. I mean, there's something about her, and I hope she becomes an actress or something because I think she's got a lot to give.
I mean, all of these designer clothes are made for European, French, small,
Soft men.
Cowards.
Yeah.
And those people are dressed, and as when I go to Boa Steakhouse in West Hollywood and I see all these like, the young model bullshit, they all have these, the cut is just very slender, very slim.
Hugo Boss doesn't make shit for us, dude.
No.
Nothing.
So, but I'm happy with Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph says
I throw down with Ralph.
Yeah.
I wish he'd throw me a couple of bucks.
Well, Tom is so thin. He's lost so much weight. What was it? I love when you can hear the other people in the studio laughing. It's my favorite part. I'll probably just play for a few more minutes. I don't need unless everybody wants me to keep going. Like, are you guys enjoying what's happening here? I am. I'm having fun, but I also know like it's not what most of my channels like at this point. So I get it if it's like not everyone's cup of tea, You feel me? I just can't do the serious stuff all the time. Part of me even thought about like maybe approach everything in like sort of a humorous way. Some of them you just can't, obviously. But you know what I mean? Like sort of like what Tim Dillon does, but I'm not like a comedian like that. But I mean, like I could do like reaction stuff, I guess, like to funnier stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like it's so serious and so dark like all the time. And it's like it is hard to do it every day and not have like a break in between, which is why I decided to do this. Where's everyone from? What time is it? How far away are you? I promise I'm nice. Y'all can chat. All right, let's see. The last time I couldn't see the chat, which was a bummer. Well, like, yeah, part of the chat. I could see some of it. I couldn't see all of it. A little bit more.
Because I've been doing, but I don't know that I'm what Ralph wants out there. That's the other problem. Is
You
like
don't think so?
I don't know if my picture is up in a room at Ralph Lauren and they're going, we want a guy in a DXL store in Palm Desert trying on shirts and asking how much they'll shrink. That's not what we want. But guess what, Ralph Lauren? That's what you've got.
You got it.
That's what you've got. Truly.
Just give him the endorsement. I
Just
mean,
give me the endorsement.
it's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's wearing it. So
Ralph Lauren is for guys like me who look a little racist.
right.
That's what a Ralph Lauren polo really is for. It's for a guy that looks like he's a little bit on the edge of what is and is an acceptable term
Right.
for 2020. Yeah. Like you don't see anyone in a Ralph Lauren polo navigate the non-binary question appropriately. Never. No.
I've never thought
No,
of that, but
yeah.
that's so true.
No, yeah. It's
Yeah.
always a guy. He's a little out of it. No,
Let's
he
just call them what they are.
Yeah, he played 9 holes. He's a little tired. The
Yeah.
wife's yapping, and it's
Yeah.
a little bit of like, what now? Energy? What is this? Who wants to be called what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. That's,
Yeah.
he's what he
I'm not doing
says.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing it.
Yeah.
And neither are any of my friends. But by
Right.
the way, we all wear Ralph Lauren.
Right.
Okay?
It's the uniform. My friend, I mean, my father, when I told him I was like an alcoholic, I was like, I was a drunk. And I didn't say I'm an alcoholic, but I said to him, like, I'm hanging out at a bar every night. I'm drinking every night. And instead of saying like, you should get help.
Yeah.
My father goes, son, like an old man bar has played a role in every Dillon's life.
Wow.
He goes, your Uncle Tommy went to Buckley's, I did a rant. Like,
Cool.
they're so like,
I want to know who it is laughing in the background because they're always and I hear. I had mentioned earlier I also love Theo Von, and I just love how he presents everything. There's the one clip of him where he's talking about a girl he met off of like Tinder or something, and was it or online? Maybe he said Craigslist. I don't even remember, but he had said that she thought she was pregnant and they had met at like a hotel or whatever, and then she had said if she was going to have the baby, and thankfully she ended up not being pregnant or whatever, and they go, oh wow, like how old were you? And he's like I don't know how old he is. He was like 27. It was like last year. It's just the way he says it is so good. Oh.
Father, I was smoking cigarettes, 13 years old, smoking cigarettes in the front seat of his car. He let me smoke cigarettes. And he goes, you know what's good about you? You never smoke them down to the filter. He goes, you never smoke them down to the end. He goes, that's what's good about you.
That's an amazing compliment from a dad.
Yeah. So these were the type of
And then
people they were.
You got to internalize like that is what's good
Yeah.
about me.
He's like, you never smoke them down to the end. He goes, that's what's good about you. And I threw him out the window and he goes, and that's like,
I picture like other kids talking about what their fucking self-esteem comes from, and then they get to you.
Because I do
what I do that's really good.
Yeah.
I never smoked out of the filter. What?
Well, I did what the trans kids do now. I go, if you don't let me smoke, I'm gonna myself. That's what the trans kids do. They go, you give me tits or I'm out of here. No, I would go, you have to let me smoke. So they were getting divorced, and my father's like, well, he's just smoking a pack a day. It's not a big deal. And I smoked for years, and I would just smoke. My grandmother let me smoke at her house, and my friend's parents, my friend Ryan was dating a stripper. My friend is in jail now. He was dating a stripper, and Indiana's Most Wanted. She was on Indiana's Most Wanted. So like state troopers came to the house once. My friend Ryan answered the door, and they were doing identity theft. They're doing bad stuff, and the troopers were like, "Where is she?" And he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." And they go, "Listen, if you don't tell us where she is, you're an accomplice." So again, where is she? And my friend just was there 2 seconds and then just looked at the cops and went, she's in the kitchen. And they take this woman out in cuffs, and the boomer parents are kind of unfazed.
Yeah.
And literally that night for dinner, we're all sitting there and his mother's like, you know what I want to do? What about a condo in Naples? How about Naples, Florida? I mean, it's gorgeous. The restaurants are great. This is after a woman had been taken out of the house in handcuffs. They were so crazy. What is this woman saying?
Yeah, what's this big ass broad thing?
It's super frustrating that there's even a difference between traveling as a straight size person versus a plus size person. Traveling in general is difficult. In addition to, being removed from the comforts of your own home, you're also thrown in this little wrench of
you removed yourself. Hold on, let me see what else I wanted to watch. I feel like there was one that I was laughing at that I was watching earlier. That was just him, Dillon. It was like a short. Let me find it. If I can. I still was laughing so much at that. I didn't see this. I actually wanted to see this. Let's watch this, and then I'll probably I don't know if there's while I'm watching this or whatnot, I'll think if there was something else I wanted to talk about tonight. I feel like there was, so let me see if I can remember.
These are the 3 best Tim Dillon rants from 2023. Starting off with World War III.
Short.
World War III will be the most entertaining thing before you are emoliated in your house by a Chinese nuke. You will not have to do anything. You will be looking at your treadmill on your couch when you're vaporized. No one will come to you and ask you to do anything, except maybe you go to the call center.
Coming in at number 2 is the corporate office rant from episode 371.
Fight for the office. We're going back. We're going back. Where's that energy? It's all for Israel and the Palestine. Where's the energy to go back into the office, to crawl back into it? Crawl into it. We're going back.
And at number 1 is Tim Dillon on Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris cannot say a sentence. She
I think I
talks in
remember
like
this.
gypsy curses.
Yeah.
When they ask her
So
something,
true.
These are the 3
I wish that whole clip was there. I'm gonna find it because it's so funny. I'm sure that most of you have seen it. Let's see. I just want to see if it's the full one. Hopefully.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
How do you think they get Kamala Harris to step down? Because she's rightfully, if he steps down, you know,
think it's so
until
short.
some. If
Kamala Harris cannot say a sentence. It's almost, she's almost worse than him. She talks in like gypsy curses. When they ask her something, she'll be like, "My grandma said that a hive of bees is still bees if you bury it." And you're like, "What the fuck is this bitch saying?"
gypsy curses.
That's how she speaks.
The Joe Rogan
So
Experience.
funny though.
how do you think they get Kamala Harris to step down? Because she's rightfully, if he steps down,
All right. All right. Let's see. Yes, I think that's probably all I got for tonight, I guess. But I got a lot to do tomorrow. So, and probably the next day. Yep. Reddit post from potential caregiver for Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk. There's a lot of like stuff said in that I don't know. How do you know if it's just like someone posting something? But one of the things that they did mention in it, though, I was kind of like, you know how sometimes when you're listening to a story and you're trying to decide if it seems real, there's like certain bits of information where you're like, why would anybody even make that up? Or like, why would you even think to make that up? There was like a couple of things like that I was like, I don't know if you were making a story, why would you do that? Obviously, there's great writers out there, so there's plenty of people who could, but you know what I'm saying? Just like that sort of like random, non-consequential tidbit of information. It was something like that. And then yeah, the Falkirk Center people. I might try and do a little more digging into that tonight before I do that one to see if there's anyone else, because some of those like highlight reels on like Erica Kirk or like some of her other associated friends, like they've tagged so many people that there's so many other people that you can just get lost into. Yeah, and I'll start like a list of the inconsistencies throughout everything. And I don't even know how to dive into the South Korea stuff. There's so much stuff there. And it's like, you know, I don't know. I pay attention to some, but I'm not like, there's so much history that I don't know. And I have such a hard time commenting on stuff if I feel like I don't have enough backstory on things. It's how I've just become like, as I've gotten older throughout life. Like, I feel like it's really hard for me to talk. That's probably why, honestly, it's probably why I waited for so long to even start a channel, because I just felt like, I don't know. I just felt like I couldn't do it if I didn't have enough information. But I feel like as long as you're upfront and you just say, look, like, I could be wrong. I feel like people just are so afraid of being wrong. Like, you can be wrong. It's okay. We should be wrong. We should be wrong. But also, if you're here and you've enjoyed yourself or had a good time, I'd love it if you'd subscribe and like the video. I also just finally set up one of those buy me a coffee accounts, because obviously I'm not monetized. So if anybody ever has any inclination to want to support the channel, that's in my description. And yeah, I think that's going to do it. And then I'll have a lot of stuff coming out tomorrow. I do have to start putting in, I'm going to add in my contact email in like the description section of my videos and in the like the description of the channel, so that if anybody has like topics or information or anything like that that you want to share, then definitely feel free to email me. And I think that's going to do it for tonight. At least it was less serious, right? That's how I feel. But thanks everybody for joining me, and hopefully we'll all get to do this again soon. I'd like to go live a couple of times a week. We'll see how it goes. I'm still kind of figuring out like what type of content does better in this format. And yeah, if it's that, some nights I do less serious stuff and some nights I do, the more serious stuff, then we could do that, maybe 2 a week or something. But yeah, any feedback, feel free to provide it. And I will talk to you guys all again really soon, tomorrow at some point. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.